What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. So thank you guys again so much for joining us for another helpful video. So for today's video, it's kind of going to be a recap on today's trading. And I've never really done a whole like consecutive consecutive videos that actually follow up with one another. And actually what I'm talking about is, if you guys saw my video yesterday, I talked about how I prepare for the following day. So I perform a series of technical analysis. I filter out stocks based on criteria, and then I prepare and have about 5 to 10 different stocks for the following day. And then in the morning, I went live right before the market opened, and about, if I'm not mistaken, about 20 minutes after the market opened, talking about just showing exactly like my whole thought process, filtering out of the 3 stocks that I was preparing for as an NAK, I believe it was MTBC, and Snap. I talked about my trade with Snap. I talked about my trade with NAK, and my whole thought process. And I felt like you guys really enjoyed that, and the feedback that I received was very positive. And now I'm making a video now talking about what ended up happening. So if you guys saw, we did an amazing job calling out NAK. It ended up screen so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And for those that are asking, yes, that's my roommate, and my other roommate is, if you want to come over here, right here. They wanted to come out very quick, but let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, and then I'm going to talk to you guys exactly what it is that happened, and what, again, this is one of my biggest pet peeves on, usually when I traded with my Fidelity account or with my older Robinhood account when I had over $25,000, I didn't care about the PDT rule. So if I was down, I could always buy more shares, in a sense, to average down, and to buy at a lower price when it's going up. Today, I couldn't do that because I was trading with the $1,000 challenge, and because of that, it overall just didn't lead to a successful trade. I should have locked in my profits. I should have set a stop loss as I was in the green, and that's a huge area of opportunity for me. I ended up from being in the green, being up like about 3 to 4%, from about 228 to $2.36 was the peak, at a better support, and I'm going to talk about a little bit more about that. But the whole purpose is I should have locked in my profits, or at least set a stop loss as it was rising. But I set a stop loss way below it. I ended up cutting my losses perfectly, like right when it broke, my stop loss triggered, and it triggered where I was planning on selling. And then after that, I saw a huge red candlestick, so I ended up getting out at a pretty good price. But because of this restriction with the PDT rule, I just led to a less successful trade for the day. A lot of you guys were, in a sense, following what it was that I was doing. A lot of you guys started locking in profits, and huge, kudos to you for locking in profits and staying consistent. That's a huge area of opportunity for me because of this $1,000 challenge. I'm not used to, not being able to buy more shares at a lower price, be at a lower price, and then sell for a profit. I got greedy. I really saw in my head, I wanted to lock in more of like 4 to 5% profit instead of the 2 to 3% profit. And just because of that, I ended up losing money instead. And again, I am sharing this so you guys don't have to repeat this. And what I mean by that is the whole point of TechBot Solutions is to share best practices, to share mistakes, and effort to promote growth. So by me making this mistake and sharing it with the thousands of people that follow this channel, now it exposes you guys to the mistake, repeat this, and lose money. And I hope this is the whole point of this video. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm going to start sharing my screen, and really what it's going to go into detail about is I'm going to start sharing my screen where it's the Thinkorswim platform. And I'm going to close this out a little bit more, and it's going to be NAK. So my trade on NAK. What we talked about the day before when planning, we talked about that there was a resistance right around 220 and a support around 210. We checked on it during pre-market hours, and we saw that there was a resistance at 261 and a support during 239. And again, the reason I know this is aftermarket and pre-market hours is because of this dashed line that it has. So as it was going up, it hit the resistance, started seeing a downward trend, and right as the market opened, boom, it saw a huge red candlestick. It started seeing a downward trend, and I got in thinking that I got in at a good price at this bounce. Around 225, I got in around 228, and then it continued to see a downward trend. What I should have done better is identify 220 as a support. How could I have known that? Old supports, old resistance become new support levels. And what I mean by that is if you focus in this area right here, when it struggled to go above 220, that was a resistance level, meaning that it was struggling to break above it. Once it did, it saw a huge green candlestick pre-market, right? Which is great. Now, as it was coming down, where was it going to bounce? Well, initially, it should have bounced, at this 220, and then from this 220, I'm going to change these 1 minute. Let me go ahead and make sure that you guys can see it. I have identified that, support. What the heck? I should have identified the support at 220 because that's exactly where it bounced. It went above 230, highs of 236 if I'm not mistaken, and then started to see a downward trend. I stop lost that as it went below 220, and then right as it did end up going below 220, it saw a huge downward trend because it broke the support. So right when it breaks the support, it's going to set a new support, and 220 is now going to become the new resistance. So what I mean by that is once a support is broken, it becomes a new resistance level. And when a resistance is broken, it becomes a new support level. So I should have been able to analyze and identified, during pre-market hours, during after-market hours as of yesterday, 220 was a resistance. So now it was going to be the next support on the way down. I got a little too hesitant. I jumped right into it, and that was a huge area of opportunity. I lost 8 cents of potential profit because I should have caught it at the bounce. I didn't even need to get in at 220, but what I could have done better is identified the bounce and have gotten it as it was moving up rather than getting it when it's seen a downward trend. And that's something that we talk a lot about. So again, that is my fault. But because of my fault that, I got into early, I saw that it was going down and I took a step back. If you guys watch my live trade, and then I say, oh wait, 220 is actually the support. And then it starts to bounce. And then I see a ton of you start posting that you guys are buying in at 220, 221. And that was great, right? Because you guys got in at a better buy point and you guys identified that potential because it made sense to you. Now, as it was going up, based on the previous support, again, if we go a little bit further back during pre-market hours, the support was going to be around, 5, and as it was coming up, that's where I actually thought the resistance was going to be. So I identified the support as 220, the resistance at 240, but it wasn't breaking and it held here for quite a while. And I should have set my stop loss at least 230 to lock in the profits that I did. Again, I got greedy and I wanted to squeeze in the extra 4 cents of profit to lock in my trades. And that was a huge mistake in my part. And just because the RSI indicators didn't indicate that it was overbought, in no way does that mean that it wasn't time to sell. I simply could have seen that the wall of sellers at 235, 236 weren't allowing it to actually go over. Once it broke, the support, I kind of thought that was it. I was done for the day on my Robinhood account. I identified the support at $2, and the reason I was able to identify that was if you go a little bit further back, you see that there was a previous support here, simply just yesterday at around $2. I'm sorry, right here, right around $2. And $2 was the previous resistance, so again, it becomes a new support. I was a lot more calm in this, and again, I was trading with my Robinhood account. Ended up buying in at 201, and then ended up selling actually a little bit earlier. Ended up selling at 215. I didn't want, today or my second trade of the day to be another reason why I can't lock in profit. So I simply waited for the actual bounce, and then I locked in my profit because it saw resistance at 220. Let me see if I can actually pull that up. But that was with my second account, and again with the $1,000 challenge. I haven't been doing very good because of just simple mistakes. And again, that's why I want to talk about it so much. Because it's a huge area of opportunity. So maybe something that I should try out a little bit more is trade with my Fidelity account first and then follow up with my Robinhood account, since I see more success with my Fidelity account at the moment, since it's my second choice to go to. But it bounced right at $2. Again, old support was 220, so it becomes a new resistance level. It comes up, hits that support or resistance at 220, comes back down, has a pretty solid support at 205, comes back up nearly to 219, and then sees a downward trend, breaks below $2. And what I want to talk about is the importance of stop lossing out. I saw a good amount of people actually going into NAK, and I hope that it was actually based on your own opinion, and you were the final decision on why you went in. But the reason I want to stress this enough, and within our group chat, it was actually a member that brought it up right before I actually was going live right now, and he told me to talk about the importance of always setting a stop loss. And I find just another thing that I want to make sure that you guys focus on is don't just focus on where you're going to buy and make sure that that's a good price point, but understand that it's not always going to go according to your plan. So in doing that, always set a stop loss to minimize your loss, because if you're in this market to make money, then you have to understand the only way that you're going to see growth in your account is if you can manage your losses. And if your losses are greater than your profits, then you're not going to be profitable. So if you can manage and reduce your your losses, and in a sense make sure that your profits are always greater than your losses, then you'll be successful. To set stop losses, and I've made multiple mistakes myself, especially with this challenge. I can't talk about the importance of setting a stop loss where you identify there to be a support, and then right below that, or whatever your max loss is. Stay consistent and stay disciplined, because for those that didn't stop loss out and bought in at 220 or whatever it is, it was, then it's at 185 if I'm not mistaken, or 180. So that's huge. That's 40 cents that it lost for a $2 stock. That's 20, and that's definitely 100% discouraging if trading, or if this is the first time that you experience a penny stock, because you didn't understand the importance of buying, selling, and cutting losses. Everyone always talks about the importance of buying and selling, but they don't talk about how important it is to cut losses, because they don't really understand that. And if you want to become 10% of those that are profitable, then you have to understand that you have to cut losses. Other than that, that's really all I had to say about today's trade. Snapchat as of yesterday, Snapchat was at an all-time low of $18. It was me and Sergio that got in at the $18 mark. I ended up selling pretty early at $18.46 if I'm not mistaken, and I believe I did that in my live stream this morning. He still held, and he's at 46 or 1954. So he's up, a huge amount, because it had a huge margin of profit, and because he identified potential and he set up his own plan, right? And it really comes down to the user on if you wanted to swing trade it, day trade it. I feel like I'm a little bit more profitable I'm sorry, that was just a fly. I feel like I'm a little bit more profitable when it comes to day trades. And although yes, it could be like a steady swing trade, then if you're doing this $1,000 challenge, a member within our group actually brought it up. It's like, you have 3 day trades throughout the week. Now, is it wrong to swing trade that, instead of just staying and watching? What you can do is you can identify a swing trade and hold it for the next 2 days. But the thing that I want to talk about that is you want to make sure that you understand a good swing trade, or identify a good swing trade. In doing that, to not see actual losses that can actually, dig rather than actually give you a little bit more of a cushion. So make sure that if you plan on doing swing trades when you're not day trading with this $1,000 challenge, that you truly identify potential and that you stick to your plan, knowing that you still have to cut losses and that you still have to understand your max profits. All that I have to say. We did experience some technical difficulties within our group chats today. There's a series of members that didn't understand that they should not be touching the settings within our group chats. And you have to understand that although that is a term and condition that we have that's posted for everyone to see. So I want to make sure for every member that is about to join the Technical Solutions, the link is provided for you down below. You'll get accepted to the Technical Solutions Facebook platform. And once you do, on the top pinned post, there are the links to our group chats. Make sure you read the agreements and what it is that you guys have to do. One of the biggest things, if you guys are watching this, never touch the group settings. I give permission to anyone who touches the group settings and disables any certain office mode or actual thing that enables phones to buzz. I will personally remove you from the group, and I'll have the different moderators and administrators actually block you off of the group. And I know some of you might be like, why is he doing that and stuff like that. I want to make sure that you guys understand that because we have thousands of members within our group, turning off that mode, it notifies thousands of people. Not only do these people get bothered that as in group me, ends up getting I don't know, it can't actually keep up. It just starts fluctuating in numbers. It pretty much freaks out, and I think we overwhelm the system. We have a really large group, and I really love what we have going on. We're a very supportive and welcoming community. But I want to make sure that we don't ruin it because as we launch this Technical Solutions, the actual Technical Solutions account-based platform, that's not going to be a question. We are going to launch that, and we are working on that. until then to cut and close the technical solutions until then, right? We want to make sure that we continue this networking environment and that we do our part in making sure that we assist people, and that those that make the mistake, that we right away not just shout at them and call each other names, because that's not going to help us anywhere. What we could do is, you could either direct message them, you can tag them on the actual group chat and let them know that we're not supposed to touch the group settings, and then turn it back to office mode so no one gets bothered. Everyone that's putting exit, everyone that's putting stop, everyone that's putting on, reply and all that, all you have to do is turn off your notifications on your smartphone. That's all you have to do. You go to notifications, you scroll down until you see the GroupMe app and turn off all notifications. That's all you have to do. Don't overwhelm yourself. It's not a huge issue. You guys can direct message me, and I'll make sure that the different monitors within our group are a little bit more active in making sure we're filtering out people that are not in the best interest. And as we grow, right, we're always going to be encountering those people that want to spam our group chats and that are going to join even our account-based platforms and are going to try to manipulate it, right? But it's us as the members that actively, participate. The reasons why they choose not to do it, because they're going to see how, what a supportive community we are, and how we don't necessarily have to get bothered by that and just simply remove them and push them away and continue with what we're doing and what we're focusing on, and that's making profits and helping one another out. I mean, I don't want this to promote any bad environment within the group. It's the weekend. I want you guys to have fun, be ready for this upcoming week. I'm super excited, and I'm super pumped. I really like going live because I get not only, going on the group chat is nice because I can communicate with one another, but actually seeing what you guys are sending me right away and you guys holding your own conversations within the group chat is something that I really enjoy. So make sure that in the comments, if you guys made any mistakes, if you guys did something very well, not just share it in the Facebook, Technical Solutions platform, but also put it down in the comments. I feel like thousands of people that watch these videos could actually benefit from actually the comments that we're sharing. So I hope that you guys can comment something that can assist someone in their success by maybe a best practice that you are willing to share, or a mistake that you made, because there's nothing wrong with that. Again, no one's perfect. You have to understand that you're going to see losses, and that's definitely something that I'm going to be following up with, and making a video on how to deal with losses if I haven't done so already. So if you guys want to join and aren't part of Technical Solutions, the link is provided for you down below. I also want to make sure that if you guys enjoy these type of live streams rather than the normal helpful videos, feel free to give the video a thumbs up. And if you guys would like a series of helpful videos throughout the week still, then go ahead and DM me and let me know that you guys actually still want those, for me to continue those things. I can't thank you guys again for the love and support. If there's anything that I can do to assist you guys, if you guys are encountering a certain hesitation or a certain obstacle, feel free to reach out to me. No matter what it is, if you think if you're completely done with this, or if there's anything that you think that I can do to assist you or help you out in any way, reach out to me, direct message me, give me some time to reply, and I'd be more than happy to help you guys out genuinely any way that I can. And that's pretty much it. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. A safe weekend. Make sure you guys are ready for our Sunday stock talk this Sunday at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. Take care, guys.